There comes a moment in a man's life when he is tested, not by comfort, but by injustice. Not by ease, but by accusation. My name is Bradley T. Livingston, and I have stood in that fire. I have been lied on. My name has been dragged through the mud. False words were spoken to authorities, and I was arrested for something I did not do. My character was attacked. My service to this country, service I gave with honor, was disrespected. I was judged, misunderstood, and targeted by people who chose deception over truth. All of it began in the very place I call home, Baltimore. A city where I was born, where I walked my path, and where I faced some of the darkest moments of my life. I encountered individuals who spoke with venom, who carried chaos in their words and actions. But even in the midst of that storm, I stood still. Because I had a choice. I could have chosen vengeance. I could have let anger take control. I could have answered hate with hate. But I didn't. Why? Because my heart belongs to the Father I serve. And I know this truth: justice does not belong to man, it belongs to God. So I stood down. Not in weakness, but in strength. Not in fear, but in faith. I chose to let God fight the battles I could not win with my own hands. I chose peace over destruction. I chose purpose over retaliation. And while people tried to tear down my name, God was building something greater. I became an author, a voice, not just for myself, but for truth. I became a man who would rise above falsehood and speak with clarity and power. And beyond the words, beyond the struggle, I became something even more, someone who acted when it mattered most. I saved a little girl from being hit by a car. In a moment where life and death stood inches apart, I didn't hesitate. That's who I am. Not the lies. Not the accusations. Not the false stories. I am a protector. I am a servant. I am a man of faith. So let them speak. Let them lie. Let them try to rewrite my story. Because the truth does not need defending, it stands on its own. And in the end, every wrong will be answered. Not by my hands, but by the one who sees all, knows all, and judges righteously. My name is Bradley T. Livingston. And I stand, not broken, not defeated, but unshaken. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord," Romans 12 verse 19.